Alright, what is good? I'm gonna show you guys today this trade that I took on GU, and I took this during Asian session on my demo, and I'm really having a good month in April, probably the best month so far, and I'm gonna show you how I did this. This is actually a really easy trade, just like my last one. So, just cover everything on the daily. Straight away we could see this break of structure to the downside below this line. We broke structure below these lows, right? Also took out this liquidity here. So we know that somewhere in here there's going to be some sort of pullback in order to compensate for this break of structure. And we're not trying to guess how far it's going to pull back to. That doesn't matter. All we know is that it's going to pull back to some area. So we know we're expecting higher prices. So that's a really key bit of information that we use to help frame this trade. So on the 4 hour, I marked out two fair value gaps for us to target, but in particular this first one here, because that's the most relevant to us right now. And so heading into Asia, before I do that, I also marked out equilibrium from this massive range on the daily that we are in. I marked out equilibrium, and funny thing is that we just came down into a discount. So by marking out equilibrium, I know in terms of the whole daily range that price may struggle to push higher above here. However, it will be very easy to get to this point, if that makes sense. On the hourly, we see this protected low being formed here, and we also see a rejection block forming by these candle wicks. And so heading into Asia, I want to target this rejection block for an entry. On the 15 minute, we get a break of structure to the upside. This is perfect, just what we wanted to see. And now we're looking for this rejection block to enter. And we know this because it falls in our key fib optimal trade entry zone. And along with that, we have a 5-minute fair value gap within the rejection block that price, funnily enough, wicked off and respected. So we entered here on this candlestick right there. Pretty good entry, pretty solid. We were just moving down so much, I just wanted to wait for a bit of confirmation, a little break of structure above these little highs here, whatever you want to call them. And we waited for Asia opened at 10, and we waited for that manipulation to the downside, and we had to wait an hour and 15 minutes for that. So that's just the patience that's involved with trading. So we waited for that manipulation, that Judas swing, whatever you want to call it. And for take profits, first take profit was in this 15-minute fair value gap. Second was at this 30-minute rejection block up here. It wasn't at the high because these take profits would be too close together, and I don't like having them too close together. I don't see a point. And then the final take profit is obviously this 15-minute order block in the fair value gap, the first fair value gap, and it's also at equilibrium. So we've just smashed that take profit. First two were quick, but then it chopped around for a few hours and then eventually ran up through it. So yeah, really simple trade. I liked AUD/USD, and I marked a similar thing, demand pull, and I probably should have taken it on AUD/USD. I also liked Euro/USD as well, similar thing. There's our fair value gap. Didn't quite hit that, but there's our demand pull. But GU was probably the better trade to take. AUD/USD would have been okay as well, but it doesn't really matter as long as I recognize these trades. To find this, I did my analysis a couple of hours before market session. I opened the trade, didn't trail stop too early. Take profits were sensible, and we ended up covering 21 pips there with a good 4.69 risk to reward ratio, and we ended up profiting that much, so about $260. And I had to reset my paper trading account because my friend at school messed me up. But yeah,